Hello, and happy Sunday to all of my wonderful fellow journeyers out there. Um, Sunday, June 29th, and I'm doing a video on another subject that keeps coming around, and I know I need to wrap up some of the other ideas that I told you that I would come back with, and I will eventually. This is kind of a new kind of meme that I am hearing, kind of coming into the consciousness, and it's not like it's not been this way before. It's just like it's coming in it with a different energy. It's coming in with more intensity, more certainty. I'm hearing it from a lot of different areas, and so I figured I might as well go ahead and address it. And that is what comes off your tongue creates reality. So, it's speaking, whatever you speak, you create. Abracadabra. I've seen that out there so much lately. And I think that's pretty exactly what it means. It's what you speak, you create. And so, you know, that really has a big, powerful punch to it. I mean, you can't sidestep that baby. It's not like, oh, well, I'll be careful what I say when I'm around, certain groups of people. Doesn't matter. Because it's not just what you say, even though I think the words that you say and the fact that you speak them do create, and they do, I know they do, but it's the thought behind them, and then the consciousness behind the thought. Think about that. If your consciousness is, if you're getting your information through your consciousness, through your higher consciousness, through a pure consciousness, then your thoughts will automatically reflect, love. They'll reflect kindness. They'll reflect whatever it is that you create. You will create for the good of all beings on this earth. If your consciousness is mired still in some of the old system, then you're going to have most likely some angst going on in there. And with that angst, you're going to have some fear. You're going to have, there are a lot of people out there that I'm seeing right now who are, claiming their freedom, and they've just found their complete freedom, and, they're going to be huge creators, and they've just been, let loose, and they've, leveled up and all this kind of stuff. And yet they're blasting other people away. They're saying, I banish you to here, and it sounds like a video game, and it kind of feels like one. It's, but for now, that's their truth, and that's how they're playing it out. And I think what happens sometimes is people are, who are working with really cool energies, and, really have, a good heart, and really want to do some amazing work for humanity, start, really working with these energies and calling them in all at one time. And I think they get blasted out. I think they get overloaded, and I think they kind of blow some circuits. And, it's going to take a while for some integration and some adjustment. I've heard stories for many, many years from people who had Kundalini awakenings or Kundalini explosions, in their younger years, not at all ready to handle it in a spiritual way. And it was excruciating and painful. And actually, I've heard several people who have been dealing with that recently, too. The coursing energy through the body is overwhelming and painful. So, there's something to be said for baby steps. There's something to be said for, taking it one step at a time. And doing it mindfully and being patient. This whole time thing is just a construct anyway. There's never, ever going to be in anybody's reality when I say reality, I'm not necessarily talking about just 3D reality and the fullness of their journey from creator through all of the creation into the devolution into three-dimensional reality. And that's not a bad thing, the devolution into three-dimensional reality. This is a masterclass show, man. This is masterclass. If you got here, you are awesome. I've told you that before. And I really mean it. So this is a masterclass, and there are a lot of people getting ready to graduate, and there are a lot of people who are just, I hear people say, I can't wait to get out of this. I just can't wait. I can't wait until this is all over. I can't, I can hardly stand it anymore. And what I sense and what I feel to be my own truth is, you can't get out of this until you love it, and I mean love it all. You can't get out of it until you're appreciative of all the lessons that it's offered you. You can't get out of it until you love yourself within the game, and that means yourself reflected to you from all other parts of yourself, including the physical reality of the earth itself. She is just phenomenal, but she's, we're a part of her. She is an amazing creator being who is holding the space of for this planet right now, and she's also doing her evolution. But the whole speaking what you want to create, you can speak what you want to create, and you can create something that you're not ready for. So, really feel into yourself and really listen to your guides. Don't push past what feels right. This whole discernment thing is really, really important right now. There's a lot going on from a lot of different levels. We've got huge energies just being bubbled up all over this planet on a lot of different levels, actually, even through, four and at least the lower dimensions of four-dimensional reality. There's a lot of stuff being churned up, and there are a lot of situations that are now being called, we are being called to use our discernment and to use the skills of intuition and self-love, and really just sometimes if you don't know for sure, then just sit back and relax and let the answers come to you. But if you're pushing and you're, shoving this thing in when it's not ready, it can get pretty funky. It can get pretty dangerous, and it can get really kind of ugly. And I know many of us are watching others out there who are doing that right now, and bless their beautiful souls. They just want to get out of this and to have it be better, and they're they've got incredible beautiful skills, and it's just like being a kid and trying to do something you're not ready for, and so you fall on your face. So what? It's all okay, really, and it'll all work itself out. But there's a lot of information being put out there by some of these people right now that may not be in the highest integrity, because it's still in a space of that kind of blown fuse mode. So, for me, I think it's just important to send love, send balancing energies, take my attention away from there, and, do my own work. Because we're here to do our own work. We can see the reflections of what is possible out there, and that's beautiful. My gosh, that's just, oh my goodness, the times that I've had talks with people who have had these incredible experiences, and I'm reminded that those beings are me, and that what they experienced is there for me to experience as well if I choose. I just think it's all just a beautiful ride. And I think that that it doesn't have to be, full force ahead. I don't think we have to, buy the cigarette boat and, barrel through the waters, screaming, and, 1,000 miles an hour and making all this huge noise while we're doing it. Some might want to. That's fine. But eventually they're probably going to have to go back and get the little leisurely boat. And do some integration, some chill out time, some balancing. So, that's that. Let's see, what else do I have here? One of the things I want, there are some other things, especially with manifesting your reality. Don't let me forget. Well, you're not going to be able to remind me because this is a video. But I had another experience last night. Oh my gosh, going out into the cosmos. Oh, and I heard my, when I went out there, I was met by a being who is me on a much higher level. I think that this is like kind of pretty far up there, and what she did, and it felt feminine to me, and it's probably because that's, who knows why. Maybe it's because it is feminine, but probably not, because after a certain level it's not feminine or masculine. But I think that there's this baby step thing going on with all of that. So, my higher self knows I trust women a little bit more than I trust men. And so what they're doing is bringing in something. But the voice she said, she talked. I don't even remember what she said, but I know that she talked to me, and it was this multi-layered, beautiful, harmonic voice, and I could recognize my own voice as a small layer of it. Um, and she brought me into a part of this cosmos picture that I was seeing, and I saw this on the background of stars and planets. I saw this wisp, this beautiful circling wisp of light that came around and became this beautiful hand. And it turns over, and then all of a sudden I see another hand with a wisp on the back of that one coming out. And there's this ball that is, it's a light. It's a globe of sorts. It might be a sun, it might be a star, but it was a light, and she had it in her hand, or whatever it was did, and turned it over and put it in to this hand, which I knew was mine. And it was like a handoff, and it was just so beautiful and so much love. And that's all I can remember about it, but I remember it was just amazing. Mwah! I wanted to share that with you before I forgot, because I didn't write that down, and I do have other things written down back about think only what you wish to manifest. So definitely, you can speak all kinds of things, and you do speak all kinds of things all day long, but make sure that the thought behind it is getting clearer and more clarified, more purified each day. Make sure that you're the observer of your thoughts, so that the ones that come into you, that talk to you, that tell you who you are from both the observer and the ego self, are equally enhancing to your life. And then, let's see, how to release old thought forms. Oh yeah, I wanted to do this. What kind of time do we have here? Yeah, let me do this. Okay, so, the releasing of the old thought forms, this has to do with, boy, I'm really actually being told that I need to make this its own video. So I will get back to this, and hopefully I'll do it soon, so you don't have to keep waiting for it. But it needs to be its own video. I was trying to bring it out, and I'm getting this message that says, no, not right now. It's okay. You don't have to fit it all in right here, right now. Need to fight the bad guys, and are they truly that anyway? So, yeah, like I'm seeing a lot of people right now who are like, in this wonderful journey, and they get stuck in this need, and I've talked about this before. But this is really more in context with what I was speaking earlier, and the people who have kind of, they're on this mission now, they're their own creator gods, and they're on this mission, and it's like, get away from me, and get away from me, and get away from me. If you're not in with me, you're against me. Well, who does that sound like? And do you want to reelect him? Because I don't. I don't even want to get close to him. Actually, he's cool, and he's played his part, and I don't need it anymore. But, Make sure you don't fall into that. There is nobody outside of us. And when you put your attention to something that you need to fix or you need to get rid of or you need to blast into some other reality, well, honey, which part of you do you want to do that to? You know, which part of you do you want to blast into another reality? Which part do you want to, um, you know, send a firebomb at and say, you're done? You know, that's not how you do it. You do it with love. I don't care what forces you're listening to and how much you believe them. You know, from my perspective, and I feel very secure with my perspective. But again, you know, you get to choose your own. But this is just from mine, so I'm going to tell you. Um, you know, from my perspective, it's all you. So if you're trying to banish something out there, if you're trying to, you know, have this, you know, fireball fight with negative beings out there, might as well just put a mirror in front of you and have your little fight right there. You know, I mean, when you go to a mirror and you see a frown in that mirror, this is what Bashar says, and I love it. When you go to a mirror and you see that the reflection in that mirror is frowning, you can't go up to the mirror and change it right in front of you. No. The only way you can change the frown is to go from a frown into a smile. It's the only way to do it. It has to happen from within you, from you first. It always is. I'm 99.99999% sure that it's all an inside job, and you know, this is a time of great awakening, and the other us's out there who have played the contrast, you know, they haven't given up yet. So their game is kind of amping up and ramping up, and they're doing things, you know, to fulfill their contract. They're doing things from different dimensional levels, lower fourth dimensional level in this dimension, and you know, and they're throwing some memes in. They're throwing some memes in, not the ones that I was talking about earlier, and they're throwing some. You know, some sticking points in there, some fear points. They're giving people energy and power that aren't ready for it, and but that have a big following. So with that, there are a lot of people who are going to get confused, and they're going to be, you know, they're going to want to follow the person that taught them all these amazing things, and not listen to their own nature, their own inner tuition, their own best judgment, because you know, they hadn't gotten to a place where they trust that yet. So they're putting it outside themselves with an outside guru. You know, and these guys and gals are you know, they're only doing what they're doing. You know, I'm quite sure that if they thought that they were doing something terrible, they wouldn't be doing it. I don't think they know, because I think that, you know, what they asked for was to be more powerful, and so they got it, and now they don't know what to do with it. But, you know, just make sure that you use your own discernment, and, you know, just sit still and listen. And if you don't know, don't make a decision one way or the other. Don't believe, you know. You can love and be supportive, but don't believe anything until you really feel it to be true for yourself. And you can wait as long as you want. You know, if you ask your guides, ask your higher self to give you information that you will understand, and make it easy, make it fun. You know, it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be this big, huge puzzle. You know, and you can make it just as clear as that. You can ask any way you wish, and you can put down the parameters of how you would like to receive it. And, you know, it pretty much will work that way. So, you know, go for that. Just be gentle with others and on yourself. Let's see what else I have here, too. Unless the fight still brings you lessons. Oh, yeah, so if you're still out there and you're fighting the system, you know, wanting to go out and protest and, you know, put stuff all over Facebook about how these, you know, war criminals are doing this, and how the Queen is doing that, and how the Illuminati are doing this, and, you know, dead babies and people on Facebook, and dead animals and all of that kind of horrible stuff. If that's what you need to do, I just scroll right by it. I don't have a need for that. I don't have any kind of pull towards it. I don't have any charge with it at all anymore. So, I don't need it. Maybe others do. And, as long as you still need to play that part out because you haven't integrated it yet, that's cool. Just do that. Excuse me. Ugh, coconut water, yummy. Um, so, that's fine, but don't think for a second that that is the destination. It's only a part of the journey. Um, and if you're feeling, um, you know, disempowered, if you feel um, weak or hurt or, anxious or sad or depressed, then you might want to take another look at what you're focusing on and how well it's serving you, and decide whether you've made the journey into a destination before it's finished. you know it, the journey's never done. I think even when we get all the way back into prime creator as full on oneness pure love, I think we're going to want to go back out and create again and again and again. I don't know about you, but I know that there's a part of me that's very intrinsic to my soul, to my beingness, that, I like doing stuff. I love, the journey. I know that there's a part of me that's out there in the galaxy going around from planet to planet and system to system, and helping just like I'm doing right here. I know that that's why I'm here. And other parts of me that are just living it up, just on vacation 100% of the time. And I like to maybe speak into my reality that I get to play between the two of those on all different levels, and I think that might be what this is. I think that what we're getting ready to do, ooh, wouldn't that be amazing? And I've heard other people say this, and maybe it's just that I hadn't really integrated that thought until just now. But wouldn't it be amazing that if what we get to do is not necessarily have ourselves do all of the creation all the way down through all of these levels, which we've already done, and come down into these three-dimensional realities. And I suspect the parts of us that are really us, are doing it on a whole bunch of other three-dimensional realities. So we're having all kinds of crazy, wild, and beautiful and phenomenal experiences that seem tragic and horrible and terrifying, but they bring incredible knowledge to the whole, and to get to a point where what our focus can do, what our consciousness can do, is to move in and out of each one of those dimensional realities, bringing in all these different bits of information so that we can go out and create more realities and more systems. And I think that's what we're doing anyway, but I think with all of this new knowledge that we're bringing in, the picture just gets more and more and more spectacular. I'm sure it's all just far beyond the imagination of a three-dimensional being at this moment, but I can feel it out there. I sense it, so I know it exists. But anyway, I think that that'll do it for today. I think that that's good enough. I don't like to make these too long, and I'm already up closing in on 25 minutes. It's 23:53. Let me see. Yeah, I think I've mentioned all of the things that I wanted to mention today, and I think what I might do, I always say this. I always say, I think what I might do is come back later on and do another video, and then I wait until the next day, and then I pick something else up. So I'm going to stop saying that. And I'm just going to let what happens happen, okay? Look, I see a dolphin and a little girl with the dolphin. I've seen that picture before. Huh. I'm staying in an ashram right now, and I've got it all to myself, and it's just so cool. I'm discovering little bits and pieces everywhere. You know I love you, don't you? You know that I'm you, and that you are me. We did this eye-gazing thing when I was on tour with the Opal Tour. We were in Sedona, Arizona, and it was really cool. each person stood in front of the other person and all the way around, so it took a long time. It was really amazing. And we stared into each other's eyes, and we said, I am you. You are me. We are one. And it was intense. There was laughing. There was crying. There was a lot of crying. There was a lot of hugging. It sounds really woo-woo and all that stuff, but let me tell you, it's intense. It's beautiful. So I want to say to you, I am you. You are me. We are one. We are free. I love you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Brilliant journeys. Bye for now.